The woods had always held a mysterious allure for me, a realm of adventure and exploration. So, when my friends and I decided to embark on a camping trip deep into the heart of the forest, I eagerly embraced the opportunity. Little did I know that our adventure would soon turn into a nightmare beyond imagination. As night fell, the woods around us transformed into a realm of darkness and uncertainty. Our campfire crackled, casting flickering shadows that danced on the towering trees. The wind whispered through the leaves, carrying an eerie, dissonant tune. We had chosen a remote spot, far from civilization, and that isolation weighed heavily upon us. The forest seemed to press in on all sides, suffocating and foreboding. Our laughter and chatter gradually gave way to uneasy silence as the night wore on. It was when the first chilling scream pierced the night that our sense of unease deepened. We exchanged startled glances, struggling to comprehend the source of the haunting sound. The forest had become a symphony of eerie noises, as if the very woods themselves were alive with malevolence. Fear crept into our hearts as we clung together, our flashlights trembling in trembling hands. We knew we had to investigate, to ensure that no one was in danger. Slowly we followed the direction of the scream, our footsteps hushed by the carpet of fallen leaves. The further we ventured into the woods, the more surreal our surroundings became. Trees twisted into grotesque shapes, their branches resembling gnarled fingers reaching for the heavens. The moonlight filtered through the dense canopy, casting ethereal glows on the moss-covered ground. Then, we stumbled upon it, a grotesque tableau that defied reason. A circle of crude effigies, fashioned from sticks and leaves, surrounded a flickering fire. And at the center of the circle, a doll, its porcelain face contorted into a sinister grin, skewered on a wooden stake. Dread clawed at us, for it was no ordinary doll. It wore the same clothes and had the same lifeless eyes as one of our group members, Jenny. Panic gripped us, and we frantically called out for her, our voices quaking with fear. No response came, but the forest answered with an unnerving cacophony of whispers and rustling leaves. It was as if the very trees held the secrets of what had transpired. Desperation gave us courage, and we followed the eerie trail of effigies deeper into the woods. That's when we found her, a terrified and disheveled Jenny, her face a mask of horror. She clung to a tree, trembling like a leaf, her eyes wide with terror. Her voice quavered as she recounted her ordeal. A group of shadowy figures had surrounded her, their faces concealed by masks, and dragged her to the grotesque circle. As she spoke, the forest seemed to come alive, and the shadows lengthened around us. The figures that had tormented her remained hidden in the darkness, their presence a sinister, looming threat. We knew we had to leave, to escape the malevolent grasp of the woods. But as we retraced our steps, the forest seemed to change around us, the path shifting and warping as if mocking our attempts to flee. The figures drew closer, their masked faces etched with malevolence, their laughter a haunting melody that echoed through the trees. Desperation fueled our flight, and we ran blindly through the tangled underbrush. Hours later, we stumbled out of the woods, our clothes torn and our bodies battered. The forest had released its grip, but the memories of that night would never leave us. We had ventured into the woods, seeking adventure, but what we found was a nightmare beyond imagination, a terrifying ordeal that would haunt us for the rest of our lives. The woods had always beckoned me, their ancient allure drawing me deeper into their secrets. So, when my friends and I decided to embark on a camping trip in the heart of the forest, I welcomed the opportunity to escape the city's chaos. Little did I know that the tranquility of the woods would soon give way to a nightmarish ordeal. As the sun dipped below the horizon, we gathered around the campfire, its warm glow offering solace against the encroaching darkness. The night was alive with the symphony of crickets and the distant hooting of owls. Our laughter and camaraderie echoed through the trees, our flashlights carving beams of light into the inky blackness. But as the hours passed, unease began to seep into our group like a subtle poison. The forest, once a haven of serenity, seemed to transform into an alien world of shadows and rustling leaves. The wind carried whispers, soft and haunting, that seemed to emanate from the very depths of the woods. We dismissed the eerie sounds as mere products of our imagination until the whispers coalesced into something more tangible, a mournful song, a melody filled with sorrow and longing. It swept through the trees like a ghostly lament, raising the hair on the back of our necks. Panic surged through us, and we extinguished the campfire in a desperate bid to silence the haunting song. The darkness enveloped us, the forest a maze of shadows that seemed to stretch endlessly. Our flashlights trembled in our hands, their beams faltering as if unable to pierce the oppressive blackness. But the song persisted, growing louder and more haunting with each passing moment. It was a voice, a spectral presence that seemed to transcend the realm of the living. "Help me," it whispered, the words etching themselves into our souls. "I'm trapped here." Driven by fear and a sense of duty, we ventured deeper into the woods, guided only by the voice's mournful plea. Each step took us further from the safety of our campsite and deeper into the unknown. The voice led us to a small clearing bathed in moonlight, where an ancient, gnarled tree stood in silent sentinel. Its roots seemed to stretch into the earth like the fingers of a forgotten deity, anchoring it to a world beyond our understanding. At the base of the tree, we discovered an old, weathered journal, its pages filled with the fevered ramblings of a tormented soul. The final entry sent a chill down our spines. It was written by the very soul that had beckoned us into the woods, a soul that had sought refuge among the trees but had found only isolation and despair. As we read those final words, a feeling of dread washed over us. I am trapped here, and now, so are you. The forest around us came alive with an unnatural energy. The trees seemed to close in, and the shadows danced like malevolent spirits. We fled in terror, the haunting song and the chilling voice following us through the labyrinthine woods. Hours later, we stumbled back to our campsite, our bodies bruised and our minds shattered. We had sought solace in the woods, but what we found was a nightmarish ordeal, a haunting experience that would forever haunt our dreams. The voice of the trapped soul would forever linger in our memories, a reminder of the sinister depths hidden in the heart of the forest.